Welcome to Tameside Bossing It. Today in my office, I'm joined by Fern from Hidden Kitchen. Welcome, Fern.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Nice to come in.
So
That's it.
you are literally across the road from it,
I am, yeah.
which is very convenient and also very unhealthy for
Yeah.
my
I
staff.
mean, yeah.
In fact, I'm surprised Haley's still talking to you. I think she was expecting cakes and you came when you came over to
It's
do.
too early in the week.
Is it?
If you'd have got me on a Friday, I'd have been here. Okay.
So you've watched some of the episodes already.
Yeah.
So interestingly, my format, as you know, I take you all the way back to school.
Yeah.
And then we talk sort of like a little bit around school and then move all the way forward to where you are now. And one of my very old friends, very close friend of mine years ago, reached out to me this week and said, I'm sure that format is what I asked you on a bus 25 years ago. And I'm like, I'm not sure it was.
Oh.
So I think they're trying to take credit for the fact that I'm trying to do like,
Trying to get
but
in it.
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll invite them on for a podcast episode at some point. So obviously we're ready to go. So take me back to your school days.
Yeah, so my school days were just, the normal. I didn't really ever have a fully idea of what I wanted to do in school. So I think, yeah, we all have that kind of conversation in school. Don't know if you had it, but it's like with a careers advisor and they kind of say to you, what is it that you want to do? And you're like, just make something up because your friend was doing it. Or
Yeah.
yeah. So I said geography, which is literally, I just enjoyed the lesson.
Okay.
But it was not because I wanted to be a geography teacher or a travel agent or anything. So I kind of got pushed in that direction in school. So I did that for GCSE and obviously my other GCSEs as well. But when I left, I was still none the wiser as what I wanted to do really. So I went to, I ended up choosing to go to Ashton sixth form and do A-levels. And again, because I was like, I really don't know what I want to do. I picked for A-levels that didn't really have any like correlation to each other.
What did you pick?
So I picked, I think it was geography. I think one of them was geography.
Yeah.
IT,
Okay.
dance, and psychology.
Okay.
So all a bit like scatty really.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'll just pick it. My friends are going there. I feel comfortable going there. So I went there and I really didn't like it. I just didn't gel with it at all. I just always had that feeling of like, I just don't fit here. Like, I don't know. Everyone around me seemed to be just like slotting into it. And I was just like, I can't do this. So
What was the reason for that?
I don't know. Maybe it was because I picked the subjects that were a bit unrelated to each other. It was kind of clash of like, when you pick something like dance at college as well, they want you to go all in on it. And like doing 3 or 4 A-levels at the same time, it just felt a lot like,
I feel like there was a personality clash a little bit there as well, because the people that are doing dance, you would not necessarily say that they're going to be the same on scene.
it's college art. So it's kind of like, I didn't feel like I fit anywhere.
Right.
I don't know really where I fit, but I just knew it didn't feel right to me. So I like sort of spoke to my mum and dad at the time and said, I'm not really happy. And they were just like, it's up to you. Like, if you want to leave, but like you get a job. You can't just.
So you 16 at this point?
I was at this point, yeah, I must have been 16. Yeah. So off I went. I lasted about, I'd either 4 or 6 weeks at college.
Oh, really? Really didn't like it then?
I really didn't like it. No, every day was like, I don't want to go.
Right.
So
So we're not even to the Christmas of you starting college then? Yeah.
I'm pretty like that though. If I don't like something, I kind of, once I've made up my mind about it, I can't really, I tried, I'll give it a go, but I'm like, I just know that I'm not going to last. So I gave it up and I just went out looking for jobs, just anything. So that was my, like, what I've been told off mum and dad, go and get a job. So that's what I'm doing. So I literally was applying everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And I got offered 3 jobs at the time, which were Marks and Spencer's, Boots and Pizza Hut.
Okay.
So I got these, which for me, like I say, I might have just, I turned 17 in the October.
Right.
So by the time I got my job, I was like 17. But I took the Marks and Spencer's job because at the time, they paid the best for someone of my age.
Okay.
So when you're that age, it's not very good, is it? I think I started on like £4 an hour, £4 something an hour. So
Vastly different now.
yeah. I mean, obviously it's very different, but yeah. So I took the Marks and Spencer's job, and I did that full time for a year, which was great because at that time I was then earning money, and my friends were all in college.
Yeah.
So I was like, great, like I can go shopping, I can do what I want, like, but I kind of wanted to go back to college at some point, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I decided to, when I was 18, go back, but I went back to Tameside College, so it's a bit of a different course. It was like a BTEC instead of A-levels.
Right.
So it's a little bit more hands-on, which is probably more suited to me, really. I'm quite like a practical person. So I did a BTEC, which was in hospitality. So it was kind of, you learn, sorry,
It's all right. It's just in case.
just in case it will be
really hard.
that's there. I'd imagine. Yeah, so I did the course in hospitality, which was more like to get you into the role of like a supervisor within the hospitality industry. So you did.
Were you still working at Marks and Spencer's at this point?
I kept my job on, so they let me do drop down to weekends.
Right.
So then I was literally doing like 5 days a week in college, and then Saturday, Sunday at M&S, and some evenings at M&S as well. So it was like a big schedule, really. But I did that for 2 years. I completed that course. So, but once I'd finished that, it was kind of, my manager kind of knew that I was then available. So
Right.
was like, do you want some more hours? And obviously I need the money. Yeah, let's go for it. I'll have some more hours. So I ended up staying at M&S a bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, I say a bit longer. All in all, I was at M&S for 10 years.
Oh wow.
But I obviously did my college course in that time, and then I started my business alongside M&S.
Right.
So that's when I started baking.
Okay.
Just as a hobby at first, I was just like interested in it and making it for friends and family and stuff. And then my work colleagues started to sort of ask me, can you make my partner's cake? Can you do this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I just started saying yes to things like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, that's kind of started, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
All right.
So while I was at M&S, I sort of gradually dropped my hours at work, and then started making more and more cake,
All right.
really, as time went on.
It's hard though when you're that age, especially like because you just said then there that M&S offered you more hours. So I always remember when I was younger. So I suspect I'm slightly older than you, Fern. So I worked for. Do you remember Index?
No, I don't.
No, obviously that's why I'm much older than you. Yeah. So Index was like a poor man's Argos.
Oh, right. I think I did.
It was owned by Littlewoods.
Okay.
So it was a catalogue shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And I worked for them, and I got a sales manager job when I was 17.
Yeah.
And it was a weekend sales manager job, and it was just as like Sunday opening hours started. So it was literally just worked 12 till 4. But at the same time, I used to do performing arts. So I'd gone to college and done performing arts.
Okay.
And then I started with a theatre company called the Forward Theatre Company.
Yeah.
And they were going to try and get me like, listed for casting agencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they like sent me for a couple of auditions and stuff. But then I got like this job, and they offered me. So I used to get paid for 4 hours. Right? Bearing in mind we're talking a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
I'd get paid my hourly rate and then 50 quid just for going in on a Sunday because nobody wanted to work Sundays.
Okay.
So literally I was earning my 75, 80 pounds
Yeah.
just for
Well, like
4 hours
yeah.
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then because obviously I was working weekends and I was at college during the week, the acting and stuff like that I wanted to do just kind of fell by the wayside because it was like some of the auditions were like on a Monday morning, so I'd have to travel on the Sunday
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it was like I didn't want to do that because I couldn't get paid.
No.
All we were worried about was just getting paid.
Yeah, that's it. It's easy to choose the money, is it? Like, especially when it's like a job that, like for me, not that M&S was just an easy job because it's still hard when you're there. Like, I worked in the cafe, it's very busy and stuff like that, but, like, you know what you're getting with it.
Yeah.
So you're just like, yeah, I can do 4 hours, you know, easy, isn't it? Like, to say yes to that sort of thing, but yeah.
It is difficult. I could have been the next Tom Hardy.
You could have been.
Could have been. I did.
Oh yeah, there's still time.
I did do a short film though called E is Fern.
Okay.
Maybe anybody that's viewing can go and try and find it on YouTube.
Great. Find it.
Try and find it. It was I had hair. I was a lot younger. I wore a red t-shirt and a leather jacket,
Okay.
and I was the boyfriend that gave Emma the ecstasy tablet, and she died. No, but I'll tell you what, all right. Have you ever been into acting or anything to do with that? Have you ever been?
Not really acting, like say dance was my thing, yeah. So
Right. So this film, right, that I made was about 6 minutes long.
okay.
Right. Do you know how long it took to film it?
I know because my brother he's like a freelance. He works in like, I don't even know what you would call his job role. Is he in production? Is he a director? I don't know, but he does all that.
Right.
And he asked us to be part of, he was doing an advert for like the new Everton kit, and he was filming. So they wanted people doing different jobs using the Everton colours. So he wanted me literally to just pipe a cake in those colours. We spent about 4 hours, and the amount of click used was like a millisecond. Alright, what the hell? Like, we've literally spent our morning doing that.
So we filmed at Trafford General Hospital, and back when we filmed this, they didn't open at weekends.
Yeah.
The part of the hospital didn't open at a weekend, so we managed to get into there to film. And so we filmed Saturday and Sunday
Yeah.
from like 9 till 5, Saturday, Sunday, for 3 weekends, right? For a 6 minute.
It's crazy, isn't it? Just like puts into perspective what kind of time goes into an actual like.
And it's tiring just doing nothing.
Yeah.
The amount of sitting around that we had to do was insane.
Yeah, and repeating things as well over and over and over.
But we've got a VHS version of it.
Yeah.
You don't see it on, because it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
My film is on YouTube. But there's a VHS version, and it's got the bloopers in it.
Oh, okay.
You've actually genuinely got bloopers from when I filmed it.
Let's get them on.
I know, maybe I will.
That'd be cool.
Maybe I will. But yeah, anyway, sorry, we digressed. That's all about my budding film career that never took off.
It might do now.
It might do now, you never know. Okay, so you started baking just for friends and family.
Yeah, it was just a hobby really. But it was getting busier and busier, and like I wasn't really making good money from it, because in the start it's a labour of love. Like, you're doing it because you enjoy doing it, and then when someone asks you for something new, so like one of my first requests was like, can you do me like a fire engine cake? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. But then I've got to find the tins to fit that cake to make it that size. You know, I've not got, at that point, I didn't have like a proper stand mixer. I was kind of using a handheld electric mixer. So the busier I got, my money that I was getting from the cakes was just going on equipment.
Right.
I wasn't really making money from it. So it's kind of like surviving off my M&S wage, really. And then
So how many hours are you doing at M&S at this point?
initially I'd gone back full time, and then I probably dropped it down to about 30 hours. So I had 1 day a week to do the cakes.
Right.
I was doing it in the evenings as well. And then over time I had the opportunity to move stores to the new Ashton store. So initially I worked in Denton, you know, there was like an outlet store there. So I moved to the new store in Ashton, and I took a lower contract, which was like 24 hours or something. So I had 2 days a week spare.
So is this the one that was on near where the McDonald's was?
No, it was the new one when that opened.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, it's near Ashton Moss, where Sainsbury's and that is now. Yeah, so I worked there for a little bit, and I just got to a point, like I say, where I wasn't really giving anything my all. I was like, quite like the majority of my week was spent in M&S, so I was getting stressed over my cakes, and I was like, I need to do something here, because I think if you're not really giving anything your all, you don't get the benefit out of like one or the other, really.
And are you still living at home at this point?
Yes, yeah. So I convinced my parent. Well, I was baking in the home kitchen, basically, taking over it.
Yeah.
And then every time I got asked for a cake, because I was building up all this equipment, I'm like carting out big boxes of like tins, and I had my own little oven that was like a countertop plug-in oven. Every time I had cakes on, I'm carting them into the fridges. Well, that's it. So we came to a compromise, and I asked my dad if he would give up half of his garage, basically.
Right. That's a big thing for a bloke, by the way.
I know. It took a little bit of convincing, but we got there. So we literally took his garage and put a partition down the middle.
Okay.
So I had the back half with a door on the back, and he had the front door with like, it looks like a normal garage from the front, which is partly where the name comes from, because it was kind of like hidden.
Oh, okay.
Way. There is another reason I called it the hidden kitchen, which is a bit long-winded, but it basically involves my dad like having a bout of amnesia when it was, I know it sounds like made up, but when he was building my half of the kitchen, of the garage, he had this thing called global transient amnesia.
Right.
So I don't know if you've ever watched Breaking Bad.
No, I'm not, to be fair.
So there's a guy in that has it, and that's the first time I've seen it anywhere other than in real life when my dad had it. And he literally, it was like he'd been working on it that day, and he sort of, I'd been out that night, and I told him where I was going. I was going to meet my friend at the Trafford Centre. He knew that. So once I got home, he was like, started looking at me a bit confused, like, "Where have you been then?" And I was like, I've been to the Trafford Centre. Now, my dad was probably late 50s at this point. Healthy, like. And so I was a bit like, is he all right? And then he just started asking like questions, like he didn't know what was going on. It became pretty clear pretty quickly that there was something wrong, right? So because he'd been making the kitchen, I was paying for it, but my dad's a joiner, so he'd sourced all of the equipment and stuff to build the kitchen. So he had this list of like everything he'd spent so far. And he's looking at it and he's like, what's all that? I said, it's for the kitchen. Like,
did you think he was taking the mick
at first? Yeah, because we were like, he'd been upstairs because we still had a PC at the time.
Right.
He'd been on the PC, come back downstairs and was like, he couldn't remember anything, like what had been going on. So yeah, he's looking at this and I'm like, it's for the kitchen. He's like, what kitchen? So then my mum like jumps into sort of, she's very like deal with things.
Right.
So she thought what's happening is he had a stroke or something happened, like he's not bright. So she's doing the stroke test. Is it you like lift one arm, like all that? He was fine. He just couldn't remember what was going on. So she's like, right, we're going to the hospital. So she runs upstairs to get changed, and I was like, just like come and see the kitchen, so you know what I'm talking about. But it might like jog his memory.
No.
And it was like you're saying, what you can't really get a man's garage from him very easily. So it's like he's like, who's done this to my garage? Like,
really?
Like, you literally had done this. Like, it was so confusing at the time.
I bet it was.
So we got into the hospital and he ended up being fine. There's no real reason for this. It can happen.
What's it called?
Global transient amnesia.
Right.
So it can just happen out of the blue to people.
That is crazy. I have never ever heard it before.
I know. Nobody knows what I'm talking about when I say it. And until I seen Breaking Bad, and I was like, that is what you had? So in Breaking Bad, he kind of like pretends that he's had it to get away with something.
Right, okay.
But in this case, my dad definitely was pretending. So he went in hospital, and even, you could tell like the doctors were even confused. They were kind of like, what is...
And how much did he forget? What was it that he'd forgot?
It was more like short-term memory.
Right. So he knew who you were.
He was, yeah. And he just like kind of struggled to tell you the Prime Minister, because the doctor's obviously asking all these questions, struggled to tell you who the Prime Minister was, and struggled to tell you what the football score was that had just happened.
Right.
So
But he could remember a bit further back. So it was just like immediate.
And the weird thing about it was, he was just dead calm. Like, because my dad is like, he won't go to the doctors, won't go to the hospital.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with me, I'm fine. That kind of person.
Doesn't take a paracetamol if he's got a headache, it'll just pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he got in the car fine. He sat in the car, just kept looking at me like we're just all going on a drive. Didn't ask where we were going. He just sat in the hospital bed. Like, the thing that bothered us most is that he had dirty socks on, and he's like, "What should you let me come out in these dirty socks on for?" Like, just didn't have a clue. But he was fine. He was chilled. It was weird. It was very odd. So when we were thinking of the name, the Maiden Kitchen, that was a play on it as well.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was kind of tucked away around the back, plus the fact that he forgot that he was even building it in the first.
And is he all right now?
Yeah, he was absolutely fine. It was like 24 hours, I'd say. They kept him in overnight.
Yeah.
Scanned his brain, because they were like, we need to.
So couldn't they see anything on his scan or
nothing. So the only thing they found was that he was low in magnesium.
Right.
And they put him on a magnesium drip, and they left him in overnight. So the next morning, he must have tested him and everything, and he was fine. Like, he was like patchy, but he was like, he knew something had happened to him.
Yeah.
And he could remember being confused, but he was like, I'm all right now. I'm ready to go home. So they discharged him without telling us.
Right.
So my mum had gone up to like get him, or go and see him at the visiting hours. And as she's like walked up to the hospital, he's walking out. So I was like, no way. What are you doing? Like,
God, imagine if she'd missed him and she's got there.
well, that's it.
He's not here.
And what if he was walking out still with that problem? So, but they discharged him, but he didn't have his phone on him or anything. So luckily my mum caught him.
I feel like somebody should have gone and picked him up.
Well, this is what I mean.
Oh, it's nuts. That is this at Tameside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I say, as far as we knew, it was like visiting hours at this time.
Yeah.
So luckily, it just coincided with him sort of walking out of the hospital. I imagine, I don't even know what he was going to do, but she found it anyway. Was he going to find a payphone or what? But yeah, she found him and she brought him home, and he was fine after that. We kept a close eye on him because we were all a bit like, what is this? Like, the only person that could really pinpoint it was like a junior doctor who had just been reading about it recently and was like, it sounds a lot like this. And then that's how they diagnosed him.
And then has anything happened since?
No, not to do with his memory. Honestly, it was the weirdest thing.
That is so. I've genuinely never heard that.
I know.
Before. That is so strange.
But he.
I'm just thinking of all of the occasions now where I could potentially use this.
Well, that's it. Well, his mates were ringing him like, got that telly you us. Just messing around with him, but he was fine, luckily. But you do have that moment of like, for that split moment when this is all happening and he's in hospital and getting the brain scans.
It must have been terrifying.
Yeah, like you have that moment of like, have I like lost my dad as he is?
Yeah.
Like, but.
Because you could almost think, so like, we're dealing with it at the moment a little bit. So my mother-in-law's got been diagnosed with mixed dementia.
Right.
So, I mean, she's not too bad at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's almost that sort of scenario, isn't it? That it's like, oh, could it be something to do with?
It's like you get that, as soon as you hear something like that, you get that sort of sick feeling, don't you? Like, what is this? How am I going to navigate this? Like, but thankfully, it turned out to be this passing thing that has not occurred since.
That's not that. And has he still got no recollection of that time?
Like I say,
so does he still not remember building this kitchen in Terrace?
He does, but I think he remembers more being confused about it.
Right.
Like, he can sort of think back to it, but remember it being like a bit of a confusing time.
Right.
Like, but yeah,
No,
it's all good now. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that is very good now. That's
Yeah.
very straight.
But yeah, so that was how my first half of the kitchen
Yeah.
came about.
Okay.
And then I worked in there for a while, and I was kind of like I say with the M&S and my work, I wasn't going whole hog on either of them.
Right.
So I was like, I need to make a decision here. Like, am I going to do my business full time, or am I going to try and work my way up within M&S? So I kind of started looking, because when you start in a business, which is why I think a lot of people don't go down that route, a job is a reliable income, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being employed is like, you know what you're getting every month. There's no like having to do tax returns, all the fun things that come with being self-employed. So I kind of was like, I'm going to try the M&S route.
Yeah.
It's secure. That's what I'm going to do. So
How old are we at this point?
I must have been about 25, 26.
Okay.
No, about 26, I'd say, when I started thinking I'm going to go one or the other. Because, like I say, I'd been at M&S at 10 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd looked on their like website and stuff about the career directions they offer, because I thought, as much as like I was fine in the job role that I was in, and I liked the people that I worked with and everything, but I knew that I had a big interest in the food side of things. So I looked into they have like postgraduate schemes and stuff. Like, I obviously didn't go to university, but there was one that was in like food development, and it just sounded right up my street. I was like, I wonder if, having been there for 10 years and having started my own business in food and experiencing that, would they consider, interviewing me for that? So I emailed the head office to just ask them if they would consider it. It was just like a blank no.
Really?
They were kind of like, the only way you can do it is to either be a postgraduate, go to uni, or you can work your way up to like a manager
And then
do it.
But you've been there.
But I'd already put years of life into it, and I was like, so you want me to now work through the ranks to get to a manager's point?
Which would take however many.
Well, literally, they handed me this like 30-page booklet of kind of like things that you've got to complete.
Right.
Kind of like when you get like a performance review and they'll say you have to tick these things off, basically.
So like a load of KPIs, key performance indicators. Sort of.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And it was like, I just looked at this booklet and was like, I'm not motivated to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of,
How rubbish is that though, that you'd given 10 years?
it's kind of, that's what I mean. It's kind of a kick in the teeth, because you're like, they've not even considered speaking with me.
Yeah, they've just literally said no.
Yeah, they've gone, no, these are the rules. There you go. Do what you want with that.
Yeah.
I think it's really sad, because they probably, I don't think out of the size of the company of M&S that I would be a unique experience. I imagine there's a lot of like talented people that go really unnoticed in big businesses like that.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame, because they don't consider people within the business sometimes. But I imagine in that scenario, they'll take a postgraduate who's never worked at M&S, doesn't have any experience with their customers, their products, anything like that. But they'll take them because they've been to uni. And like, I just thought it was a bit crap, really.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, stuff you then, I'm handing my notice in. So that's when I handed my notice in and decided I'm going to give my cakes go full time.
So, in hindsight, that was probably actually one of the best things that happened to you then.
Absolutely, I didn't look back after that.
Yeah.
Like, at first, so I can't remember what happened first. I think I I bought a coffee trailer.
Right.
I'm a bit like, I have ideas and then I commit to it. I'm gonna try this. Like, so, a girl that I worked with at M&S, she was also like, she was a supervisor and she was like a trained barista and all this. Or I worked in the cafe as well. So, and obviously I did my cakes as well.
Yeah.
So initially, the idea was to have a coffee trailer that sold the cakes that we make and stuff like that.
So where were you going to take this coffee trailer?
To just like food festivals, markets, and places like that. So I changed my car. Me and my friend at the time got this coffee trailer, and it was amazing. It was beautiful. I still like. I'm sad. I ended up getting rid of it eventually, but it was basically because my cakes were so busy.
Yeah.
And I'd built for like maybe 5-6 years a real strong like business doing birthday cakes, weddings.
So you had like a real good customer base.
Yes. And that's because I'd left my job and I was giving this my full time.
Yeah.
I was just, again, it's a similar thing but on a self-employed basis, just taking where the money is.
Yeah.
So if someone was booking a wedding that week, I'm going to pick that rather than trying to scour all the markets and find a pitch. Do you know what I mean? So in the end, the cakes won on that. We had the trailer for like a year or so. And
What, your friend did it with you?
Yeah.
She didn't leave an
She did eventually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But when we had the trailer, she was still there and I'd just left, yeah. So it was like she had other responsibilities because she was still there. She also had children as well.
Yeah.
And my other responsibility was like the birthday cake. So neither of us were like putting our all into that.
So it was that thing again where you're not really putting your all in one thing or the other.
Yeah. So and that's like a big learning curve for me in general, like across the years, is that I know now if I was to ever do that again, buy like a trailer or some kind of, like the little horse boxes and stuff, I think it requires a lot of you, like it requires you to do that full time.
Right.
So unless I had someone to manage that full time, then I think it would be quite tricky to just have it right now. But yeah, I ended up selling it, and I just at that point was getting so busy with the cakes again.
But you're still just doing the cakes in the kitchen that you.
Yeah, half the garage, that's it. It's probably smaller than this room.
Okay.
So eventually, it was getting too much, and I just couldn't manage it.
So in terms of, because obviously I don't know how to make a cake.
Yeah.
So just talk to me about like a time scale perspective. So if how many cakes in a week could you make and how long it take to make each one? Is that they'll be different in terms of what you're doing? But
so it's funny because obviously, as you guys know, that we only open for walk-ins on a Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
People think for the rest of the week we just sit at home. We definitely don't.
No, I see you in there genuinely. I do see you in there.
So we start the prep literally for next week also starts today.
Right. Okay.
So the girls are in there baking like right now, but there'll also be all the little pernickety jobs like unwrapping chocolate bars. If you think that we do like all like Kinder, Cadbury's, all that sort of stuff, takes you ages to prep all that.
Right.
So we start baking on a Tuesday or like prepping. So we'll make cookie doughs, things like that. And we make probably between 1,000 and 1,500 cakes a week.
Wow.
But we are only a small team, so I think that's quite.
So, but that's right now though, right? So when you were busy and you were using the kitchen that's only the size of my office, how did that, from a logistical perspective, work? Or it didn't. That's the point.
You could only do so much.
Right.
Yeah, but eventually, I ended up having. It was enough. It was enough to tide me over. Again, I wasn't making great money. It's never been massively profitable because of the time it takes.
Right.
So if you think like I've always said to people, like, if you were to commit to making your mum's birthday cake this weekend or your son's birthday cake this weekend, it's going to take you the afternoon, and that's one cake.
Yeah.
So we're doing nearly 1,500 every week, and we're doing them by hand.
Right.
So it takes us all week to make that many. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was enough for me in my kitchen at home, but it was getting to the point where I was turning people away and just like.
So at that point then, how many cakes, for instance, were you doing a week?
I think I was still more so doing like birthday cakes and brownie stacks, like rather than like in the shop now we do the individual cakes.
So how much would a birthday cake could cost?
Well,
A bog standard birthday cake.
When I was doing it, which was quite a few years ago now, because obviously ingredients have gone up quite a lot recently. I would probably charge between £40 and £65 for an average birthday cake, which probably sounds like a lot to some people, but it's actually very cheap. Like if you go into the cake world and get some quotes from people would be like, some of the cake bakers would be looking at me going, "What you charge for that? That's
So
stupidly cheap."
between 40 and 65,
Mm-hmm.
and what would you say your profit margin was on that?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm not gonna lie. Like I say,
You know.
it sort of happened so accidentally
Right.
that I was never business minded and like
Right.
I know.
So
my
now your
business
cake,
and stuff.
you know how much all of the ingredients has cost you. That you wouldn't necessarily know how much that one
Yeah,
particular
that
cake has
I'd
cost.
probably work more on that basis. Like my weekly costs are X amount and my income is this much.
Right. As I can make X amount of cakes out of that what I bought. Right, okay.
So then I
I imagine you weren't making a great deal on that.
No.
Because I remember like so I've got 3 children.
Yeah.
And I remember my wife telling me how much cake cost 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Cheap, definitely
I'm
not.
pretty sure they were more expensive than that.
Yeah, definitely. I would.
Remember we did a big city, because I'm a City fan.
Yeah.
We did like one that was like a city stadium.
Yeah.
And that was like 200 quid.
Yeah. Yes. That sounds about right. I was definitely undercharging at this point. Definitely. But I didn't know. I just knew that I needed to make this amount to cover everything. But I was very good at saving my money, and I saved up about another 4 grand, 5 grand.
Well, you
And
can do that when you live at home with your parents, though.
well, that's it. Yeah.
Did that charge you any rent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always paid rent,
Okay.
but I just been good at. I'm not a big spender,
Right.
really, but
Are you not one of these people that sort of was out every weekend and stuff like that?
No, not at this point. I think I'd sort of done a bit of that when I was probably in my early 20s. So I'm getting up to like 26, 27, yeah. So eventually I asked my dad for the other half of his garage.
Right.
Because to me that was like basically doubling the space.
Okay.
So the compromise there was that I was going to buy him a lovely, nice big shed.
Right.
To put all his stuff in.
Yeah.
And I would take the other half of the garage, but I would have a front door on it.
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
For you.
But for both of us, he got his shed out of it. So we had a front door on it instead.
Right.
Like I said before, it was just round the back.
Yeah.
Which meant it was completely separate to the house.
Yes.
Because when people were collecting cakes, because they were only seeing a garage, they'd knock on the front door of the house.
Yeah.
So it was all a bit messy. And then I'd got this space again. It was just getting busier and busier. And then
Did anybody ever help you, or was it very much just?
Not really. Sometimes my mum would help. Yeah. She's not like a baker really, but she would help with the prep and stuff like that if I needed help.
Yeah.
But at this point, it was manageable, I was turning a few people away, but then the lockdown kind of happened.
Right, okay.
Which is, I was pretty lucky because we were just like people collecting. You know, a lot of the places that had people sitting in and stuff like obviously had to, but we did have like the 3-week period where I had to just stop baking. So in that time, I decided to do like an online like live bake along.
All right, okay.
So I was just like, everyone's at home doing nothing, and there was quite a big community spirit around that point.
So you were the Joe Wicks, was it Joe Wicks?
I was the Joe
Joe Wicks, you're faking.
in Tameside.
Brilliant, I love it.
So I was like, I'm gonna give a shopping list, like a public shopping list.
Right.
And I'm gonna say, on this day, at this time, I'm gonna go live and we'll teach you how to bake this.
And what did you do that on?
Literally just like Instagram live.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So at this point, I'd been baking for quite a few years at this point, but I'd probably only built my account up to about 5,000 followers.
Right.
Um,
Only about 5,000.
I know it's an achievement, but like what was about to happen, I was like, I did it. What I mean is, say that 5,000 followers, it took me like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Following the lockdown and doing the bake along like live lessons, my account started spiraling after that.
Wow.
Because I'd done the lesson and I got my dad in on it as well. Because I was like, how can I teach people that I can't see? Does
So
that make
you
sense?
taught your dad theoretically.
Yeah.
So that it's a visual that people can see.
Yeah, and he was like my time scale.
Right, okay.
So I can see that my instruction, how he's following it, and he's never baked in his
That's actually a really clever idea.
Yeah, so because I can't see anyone who's watching Lease, so I don't know if you're keeping up with me or what. So we had like 300 people join in on the first one.
That's so good.
At the time, I was like, never done anything like this in my life. Like, I've never gone live. It's the first time I pressed the live button.
I mean, I'm still trying to get some likes on the Facebook page. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've done that. That's terrible.
So we did this live lesson, and me and my dad were so nervous before it. Then we had a gin at like 10 o'clock in the mads because he didn't know what he was getting into, and I didn't know. So
Brilliant.
it went well, and I honestly didn't know what the result would be. It was just kind of like I say, there was a big community spirit at the time.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, there was.
It was more so like something for you to do at home with your kids because everyone's off. Let's just do it. And then because people had joined in, they started sharing their pictures of what they'd baked and tagging me in it.
Wow.
So people were just like coming to my page, and my page just started like ticking up, and I was like, what on earth is going on?
Right.
So then I did about another 3 of those, which again just made me busier and busier.
What was the most that you had on time?
It probably stayed around that, around 300 to be honest, but it was like spaced out a little bit. So as the sort of rules of lockdown started lifting, there's kind of less of an audience there, but it was giving me a good like reach still. So, and it was just fun. I enjoyed doing it, like, and seeing what people had baked as well. So yeah, we did that, and I just got into like the video side of things from that. So I started doing like sharing recipes because then people started asking me like, oh, have you got this recipe again? And so I started sharing the recipes then as videos. But I had like no filming or editing experience, or didn't really know what I was doing. And someone told me to get TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it's quite easy to edit on there and like add your music and do all that fun stuff. So I downloaded TikTok and started using that as my editing tool, not thinking I want to get any followers on there.
Yeah.
It was just to edit videos, download them and put them on Instagram.
Right.
But then one of my TikTok videos went viral.
Okay.
And I literally went from like no followers to 30,000 overnight on that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was crazy. It got like 3 million views, which in today's viral videos,
Yeah.
some of them are ridiculous, aren't they? Like people get millions and millions of views, but at that point it was like mind blowing to me. Like, and I was like, oh, TikTok's quite good as well. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that. So I started using that as well, and my business just people were almost getting like customers. I started doing like the brownie boxes at this point because I was like, because I've got the following there now, I can just sell a little bit extra every week.
Yeah.
So I started with 4 boxes of brownies every week, and it was flying out. So then I did 8, and it was going.
And so were people coming to collect them, or did you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And
How far were people coming to collect?
it was a big local base, so I'd say more so now that I have the shop.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a like you can walk in rather
Yeah.
than because I was at
I
home.
mean, we'll come on to the shop in a minute, but honestly, it is insane sometimes. Like the queue
Yeah,
that I see outside,
yeah,
and more so now that I've moved here from
yeah,
where I was.
yeah,
Like to have that must be an incredible feeling. Like they genuinely all come
yeah. It is crazy.
because they want to taste what you can
Yeah.
do. Do you know what I mean?
I always think that, like, despite having that over and over, I just think my luck's gonna run out.
It's like no, I mean,
I always think like one day I'm just gonna be like,
but
always everywhere.
that's a business owner though.
I know. It still feels, no matter how well you do, it still feels like it's never a guarantee, is it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like I say, started, it was the brownies and stuff got really popular.
Right.
So I'd start selling these. It ended up being like probably 100 boxes a week
Right.
that I was selling from home of I'd do 2 different boxes, and you had to reserve them through direct message on my Instagram
Right.
because I didn't have a website or anything at that point. So I would literally sit there on a Friday morning going through these messages,
Have it count.
scribbling them all down, and I would rely on people coming and picking them up and paying on collection.
Wow.
So no one was prepaying for it.
That's a risk, right?
It's silly now when I think about it, but it was just working. At the end of the day, I would sometimes have 1 or 2 that hadn't been collected.
And that was it.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really good.
but because they'd been in demand, I also kept a list of the people that missed out. So I'd contact them and say, someone's not collected, do you want it? Yeah, we'll take it.
Right.
Which was great, don't get me wrong, but it also left me in a little bit of a, like, say my collection time on a Friday was like 4 till 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd have people coming at 7, 8 o'clock
Yeah.
because I had stuff left, and you kind of like, it blurs the lines between your work and
Yes.
your life, really.
Yeah.
And it's quite intrusive on your home life.
Especially doing it from
Yeah.
home stuff
Yeah.
at that point.
So, yeah, that was, people were almost,
But were you making money though?
yeah, at this point, I'd started making
Yeah.
a decent wage. I'd say like my best year at home, I probably earned about 28 grand, which is, for me, on an M&S wage and stuff, was great. I'd never earned that much money.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy a house. But unfortunately, because of the lockdown and the house prices, you probably know very well, shot up, and I was buying on my own. I just couldn't lend enough
Yeah.
to buy a house. So I went through every possible like situation where I tried auction, I tried getting my dad on the mortgage, but because he was so close to retirement age, it puts the monthly payments up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm kind of stuck.
I'll tell you what, right? After COVID, it was insane.
Yeah.
In terms of both sales and rentals.
Mm-hmm.
And And it's funny, so I think I say this on one of the other episodes, and not necessarily about sales, but sales, we literally could have, you know, and this isn't an exaggeration, we could have 20 or 30 people wanting to buy the same house.
Yeah.
And everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I think the easiest way for me to describe it is the sales, the mentality of the reason why people wanted to buy houses, the same as the rentals. So people used to say to me, why is the rent's gone so hard?
Yeah.
Right. And the easiest, and this is genuine, there's no report out there that says this, but this is genuine what I think just based on me having conversations with people. So what happened during COVID? When we were in that lockdown, you had all of the people that were in that were living at home with their parents, by yourself.
Yeah.
That thought, if I have another lockdown, I can't stay at home with my mum and dad again.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened was those people thought, I'll take a flat.
Yeah.
I'm not even bothered about a garden or anything. I'll take a flat.
Yeah.
So flat prices went up and apartment prices went up because you had all the people that wanted to leave home in case they get stuck in the lockdown again. But then all of the people that were already in the flats thought, I can't have another lockdown in a flat. I want a small yard.
Yeah.
So then all the people that were in apartments and flats were thinking, right, well, I'm going to go and get a 2-bed terrace.
Yeah.
Where it's got a little bit of a yard. And all of the people in the 2-bed terrace with a small yard thought, I can't stay here in a 2-bed terrace with a small yard.
Yeah.
I need a 3-bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need an office and I need a bigger garden.
Yeah.
And it was just a flood. And it just went from bigger to bigger to bigger.
Yeah.
And that's why all the prices ended up going up.
Yeah.
Because exactly the same as any other business model, supply and demand. So the everybody wanted the next one up. And so the prices just went crazy.
Yeah.
So much so that a 2-bed terrace pre-COVID was $550. A year after COVID, it was $895.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like looking in. I wanted to stay local because of my business, and a lot of my customer base are local people. And I was looking in like kind of Ardenshire, Royalston, and at the time I was just I'm just about I saved a good deposit, and I could just about lend enough to get houses that were priced at around 120, 130 at the time. But then all of a sudden, it was like you were, like you say, bidding against 20, 30 other people. I had no chance. I was like, I'm stuck. I can't do it on my own. Like, I didn't have a boyfriend or anything at the time. So I was just like, what do I do here? I'm just like, there's no other option for me, really. So I think because my business was doing so well, I was like, the only way I can buy a house is to earn more money.
Yeah.
So the only way I can earn more money, because now I'm at capacity in my bigger kitchen, is to get a bigger kitchen, which is why I am here in the hidden kitchen on this street. So that's how I ended up getting a shop, really.
Right, okay.
My initial goal was to buy a house.
Yeah.
Um,
So where are you living now?
I still live with my parents. Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do have a partner who has his own house.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily on my radar to buy my own house right now.
You don't need to. You can go and stay with him for a bit. When he does your head in, you can just go back home, can't you?
Perfect. Yes, it's perfect.
It sounds delightful, to be honest.
And it just wouldn't be necessary for me to buy a house on my own now, because we'd be doing like 2 different sets of bills, 2 different.
Yeah.
What's the point?
I mean, you could buy one and then move in together and rent them both out, because I know a really good Latin agent just across the road.
Well, there's options. But yeah, I am actually going onto his mortgage soon.
Right.
So I don't need to do that anymore. Yeah, so that's why I ended up here, though.
So how long have you been here now?
So 3.5 years I've been on the street. My lease is 5 years, so I've got another 1.5 years until my lease renews or whatever I decide to do.
Okay. So talk me through that process, getting the shop, getting it fitted out.
Yeah. So I'd looked at quite a few. Like initially, the difficult thing is I've always worked in the same way. So like I say, when I was working from home, I'd prepare and bake all week and then sell on a Friday. And that's how I know how to do it, and it's always worked for me.
Yeah.
So I knew I didn't really want to change that much. So initially I was looking for like kind of little industrial units and stuff like that, and I'd been to see a few, but they were quite like difficult to get to.
Right.
Because if I've got so many customers collecting, it's like trying to explain to them where it is and will people go out of the way to go there. So I started looking in the local area for like little shops and stuff. And I initially was looking at one further up,
Right.
where the dollhouse is now.
Yeah.
But it'd already been taken by the time I wanted to go and look at it.
Right.
So this had just come up,
Right.
and I was a bit like, I don't know at first, because it looks like a massive shop. I wasn't looking at things that big.
Right.
But I was shown around, and the rent I felt was pretty reasonable compared to some of the ones that I'd seen that were like half the size but almost the same.
Double in price, all that, yeah, the same rent, yeah.
So I ended up taking this place, and then me and my dad and a lot of my family, really. My mum helped, my auntie came and helped. Like I say, my dad's a joiner, so I'm pretty lucky in that aspect of things. And we all sort of ripped it out, painted it, did all the work.
How long did it take you to do it?
Well, thinking about it now, I was being pretty unreasonable, because I got it in the January, and I had in my head, like, I need to get open by Valentine's Day because it's a big event for Kate. Valentine's. Can't miss that.
Yeah.
So I said to my dad, like, think you get it done in like 6 weeks. And he's like, oh, I don't know. Like, because there was a whole kitchen that needed ripping out and everything.
So was there already a footprint in there?
What do you mean?
Was already an existing kitchen in there?
It was, but it was more like it had been used as a staff kitchen.
Right, okay.
So it wasn't like suitable for baking and stuff like that. It wasn't commercial, really.
Yeah.
So like, we have all the like cladding and plastic on the walls, so everything's wipeable and stuff like that. It's very clean in there. But that needed coming out, and yeah, it was a lot of like my dad pulling in little favours from people, like, are you free on this date to come and paint the shop and do all these things? So I was very lucky that we got it done, like
To get it open, yeah.
just about, just about. But it wasn't the grand opening that I expected.
Right.
It was kind of like 6 weeks of stress to like an opening where I was just like full of new equipment.
Yeah.
I've not really worked in here before. I've not used my new oven properly. So I was figuring it all out as I went, really. So that was a bit of a shock to the system, but I got there in the end, yeah.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because I remember when we were doing this, well, you would have seen how long it took across the way, do you know what I mean? But yeah, originally, because I think I actually had banners on this at one point that said October.
Okay, yeah.
And we didn't actually open until the January.
Well, that's what I mean. It takes so much longer than you think, doesn't it? And I, like I say, we said to my dad, 6 weeks, yeah.
Did it?
We did it. Yeah, but I kind of like felt like I had no choice from a money aspect as well. Because as you know, once you start renting somewhere, the bills start.
Yeah.
So you've got to like start making that money from somewhere. And I basically, the deposit I'd saved up for a house, which was like
Was used on that.
30k, yeah. That's all I had. That was my budget. That's all we've got to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm putting, and then once that was gone, like I say, I needed to like start making the money.
Yeah.
So that's why I had like a deadline, like we need to start baking.
So you've been there for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
How many staff do you have working for you now?
3.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're still a small team, but I didn't really set out with a plan with it. I didn't know how it was going to go. But I'm happy with the team that I've got right now.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of people asking for jobs and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, could I do with an extra person? Or but it's also a bit scary, isn't it? Like, having someone else to pay, and it's on your shoulders at the end of the day. Like, so if you have a bad week or not, you still have to pay those people. So yeah.
No, it is very hard, and especially as our lovely government try and force more and more taxes on, because we're not working people, don't forget.
No.
We own a business, but we're not working the hour. But anyway, I'll not get into the political side of it. It just frustrates me, like when, they don't appreciate the fact that we still have to pay, a wage, and we have to pay the national insurance. We've got pension contributions, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the list is endless.
It's very frustrating. Because I've touched on that as well, like, and the issue now, I mean, we touched on it before, didn't we? When we said that, younger people getting paid an awful lot less back there.
Yeah.
Whereas now the gap between, the younger generation and over 25s, that minimum wage, to try to close it and close it and close it. And the problem is that when someone's slightly older and that's got a little bit more experience, whether it be work or whether it be just they've got more experience, who are you going to take on? Somebody that's dead young that you don't know what you're going to get, or somebody that's got a little bit more of experience. You're paying them the same.
I know.
You're going to pay the one that's got a bit more experience.
That's it, yeah. And I'm really all for, like, paying people fairly and a good wage and stuff, but they do make it difficult for you to do that, don't they? Like, there's not, especially within the hospitality world, there's a big thing going at the minute to, like, reduce VAT and stuff like that, because it's not big margins in the food world, but it would be great if we could pay people a lot more and stuff, but it's just no money there to do it. But yeah, it's hard having all the bills and things to pay for, but
and it's stressful as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like I say here, even though I've got a team here and I've got a couple of girls starting, next week. I'm gonna give the apprenticeship stuff another try.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of girls that are gonna start on an apprenticeship program with me.
Right.
But it's lonely sometimes, even though you've got a team around you.
Yeah.
It's ultimately the buck stops with you, doesn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think people don't see that, do they? That it's like you say, it's lonely because even if one of your staff members makes a mistake, once they go home, you have to deal with it still. Like, everything stops with you, doesn't it? So it's just feeling that you're the only one that's responsible for everything. So there is, like, some downsides to it. I think having a shopping staff, but it's allowed me to earn more.
And I guess the upside, I mean, I've got children, so it helps with me. It's like, tomorrow I've got to take my little boy to a hospital appointment, and there's no question that I can't take him.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to book it off as such and things like that. So, if I want to go to a sports day, I don't have to put in a request for a bit of time off and stuff. So it has its perks, but I also try and make sure I do that with the staff as well that work for me, because I have that perk. But when I go, they've got to take up the slack of when I'm not here.
That's it, yeah.
So it swings and roundabouts for me. If I can always do that for people that work for me, then I will do. But yeah, it is hard.
It is.
It is hard. So I never have a podcast, or I don't seem to have done so far, where I haven't touched on AI.
Okay.
And we haven't touched on AI. But I feel like that's because I don't think you're really at risk of robots coming in and taking over baking cakes.
No, not really. Because it's very hands-on job, isn't it? Like, you can't create a cake with AI.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately.
However, have you found that you don't get asked for recipes as much or anything anymore, because they can just put it into chat or Gemini and they can come up with a recipe?
I think since I had the shop, I kind of stopped sharing that kind of thing just because I was so busy, like, in the day-to-day baking. So I've not been sharing recipes for years.
Right, okay.
However, a few weeks ago, we were trying out some gluten-free recipes.
Right.
We don't offer because it's just complicated with allergens and stuff like that.
Lisa would love that, because Lisa's
I know.
gluten-free.
I know. And she's so devastated that she can't have our Nutella donuts.
Which are delightful, by the way, because that's what I generally ask.
So what was I saying then?
Recipes.
Yeah. So for that reason, I did it within Celiac Awareness Month, and I shared those recipes again,
Right.
and that's probably some of the best reach I've had again
Right.
for my social media and stuff. So there's still a bit of a
Because it's almost like what I found with social media and everything is people are interested if it fixes a problem. So like
yeah.
if they don't know a recipe or something and you post something that gives them that, it fixes a problem for them, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, I know like me just trying to do this. I mentioned it before, didn't I, on the YouTube stuff. So I've literally only just discovered that if you put the time in the description in the part of the show, then you can skip to that part.
Yeah.
I've literally just done that on my last two, but I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
So again, if it fixes a problem for someone, it's like, I'm interested in listening to them, but I'm not going to listen to them for an hour because I just want to know about this bit.
Yeah. That's it.
You know, so I suppose it is quite difficult, but yeah, I think you're safe for me.
Yeah, I always kind of wanted to write a recipe book and stuff like that, but like you say, whether or not that's going to be something that people are that interested in now, with the amount of stuff that's out there, or that they can use ChatGPT.
I mentioned Danny before, who's wrote a book.
Yeah.
So you never know.
You never know.
You know.
Might be a future project.
Have you never wanted to try and do another live?
Yeah, probably. I would do that. I loved that side of things. Like when I was,
Imagine being able to do one of them now in that kitchen.
yeah, like when I was doing the social media side, I really did enjoy it. But at the time, I mean, it probably does now because you can monetize a lot better, can't you, on social media and stuff like that. Well, you can. There you go. A future.
So yeah.
So again, I only kind of figured this out when I was doing it back from home. I first sort of realized that on the TikTok thing, and they have like a creator fund,
Right.
so they will pay you based on how many views you get,
Yeah.
and interactions and that sort of thing. Because from the shop for the past few years, I've not been sharing that sort of stuff.
Right.
If you don't use it, you come off it basically.
Right. Okay.
And then recently, I shared a few recipes again, and I got back on it.
Right.
And I had a video do quite well recently, and they put, I think it was about £350 in my account. I was like, oh, okay, so you can use this to make money again, but the money that you get from it now is much better than it was years ago.
So you're going to be sharing a podcast on it then?
Maybe.
We'll
see.
I do know that you can earn from it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to monetize it or anything like that. And that's, that's never been like a driving factor of me doing this particularly. Yeah. Although I do know that if all of a sudden this takes off, it could do. So I coach. So my eldest is 11, and I coach or co-coach a team, his football team, with a guy called Kev.
Okay.
And Kev's son, he's called Ronnie, and he has a YouTube channel and everything else to do with TikTok, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff called Kid Deair. And so he's a goalkeeper. And Kev recently left his full-time job because what he does is he edits videos and everything of just him, his son doing saves and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But he now has replaced his full salary with the videos. Yeah. And it's crazy, like some of the stuff. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that people say to the kids on the messages or the comments is just outrageous. But yeah. So my son's on quite a lot of them because obviously he's in the thing, in the videos and stuff. But some of his have gone like viral where they're getting like millions and millions of views. And it's like a couple of months ago, they had one of the brands. So he gets sent like kit bags and goalie gloves and all that sort of stuff, as long as then obviously they mention it on these videos and stuff like that. And they got invited to go out to Vegas for a weekend.
It's crazy, isn't it?
All paid for.
I think that's the thing, like, once you can put your full time into things like that, it's crazy that the money that you can make from it. But it's having the time to
I mean, it's a lot of hard work. Just me doing these.
Yeah.
I mean, I get shouted at from my staff because I'm supposed to be doing like
Yeah.
estate agency stuff, and I'm not. I'm sat in here doing podcast stuff, so I do get shouted at for it. But so it can take, you know, quite a while to do it. I'm getting quicker at it.
Yeah.
But to do it as a full-time job would be time consuming.
Takes a long time to edit things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Especially if you're not initially, if you're not getting anything from it.
Yeah.
Like, other than it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, there's no mega driving force there for you to do it.
No, I mean, I suppose this is literally just a hobby that I'm doing at the moment, because it's just, you know, I want to get local business people in and talk about like the you know, the wins and the successes that we had, and you know, the challenges. You know, even down to you. You know, you say that you wanted to buy a house and that didn't happen, but then you pumped that money into a business that, you know, you've got, you know, 3 staff working for you.
Yeah.
You know, you should be proud of what you've done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, really inspiring to hear people achieve things, especially now, especially with everything that's going on in the world. You know, it is inspiring to be able to hear those types of journeys that people are having. So in terms of young people now coming out of college or going to college and not knowing what they wanted to do, just like you.
Yeah.
Have you got any advice for them?
It's a tough one,
It
really.
is, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I would say from my experience, you don't have to follow the crowd, which is what I did to go to college initially, like picking my A levels and stuff like that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think when I was in school, there was enough that was like told to us about, you can just start your own business, you know, you can go down that route. Because I didn't even know that was a thing at school. But I'm hoping that nowadays, that it's put across a little bit more to kids in school. I don't know if it is, because I don't know any kids in school.
I don't think it is to the degree that it should be. I mean, my wife's a high school teacher. It's slightly different because she works at a preschool. But yeah, I don't think it is as often as it should be.
It's a shame.
It is.
I think it would be nice if you were kind of shown that more as an option in school. But yeah, I just think if you feel like you don't fit in somewhere, or you feel like you have a strong interest in something, explore it, because there's no harm in exploring something. It doesn't mean it has to go well. And it's how you find what you do love, really, rather than...
I think sometimes when you're 16, 17, 18, even 19, and you're still a teenager,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter that you don't know what you want to do.
No, it doesn't. There is a lot of pressure to choose.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't mean, and if you do choose something and you do love it for a little bit, doesn't mean that you have to be that forever.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to change direction, change direction. Like, you only get one life, don't you, at the end of the day? And I think there's too many people that stick with something because they go, oh, I've been in this job now for 10, 15 years and
it's all I know.
Yeah, it's all I know. Well, do you want to get to your retirement age and think, I wish I would have done that? No. I don't, personally. So I think that's the reason. I know what I've done has predominantly been within the cake world, but like I say, I've tried little sort of subcategories of that, like getting a coffee trailer, and now I've tried the shop, and I feel like I'm still figuring it out, what I want to do, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Right.
Good. It is odd that you've only ever really had 2 jobs though.
You think?
I mean, I've had a lot of jobs.
Have you? How many was that for you?
I don't know. So I started working at a jeweller's. Well, no, I had a paper round.
Yeah.
There you go. This is how old I am. I had a paper round when Princess Diana died.
Oh.
Because I remember getting sent home because the papers.
How old are you? Can I ask
True.
on here?
I am 4. How old do you think I am? I'll just give that.
40. 42?
42. I'm 42.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm 42.
A bit bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm a bit older than you.
It's not by much.
I'm 43 in August.
Okay.
But I'm away from my birthday. go to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, lovely.
Can't wait. So yeah, no, yeah, I've had an Index, worked in a bar, moved to Lanzarote, and then I came back, worked at LBN, worked at Curry's,
Yeah.
walked out of Curry's. It's the only job I've ever walked out of.
What would it be?
So because I'd been a manager and stuff where I'd been before, when I was in Lanzarote, I pretty much ran the bar over in Lanzarote, and I came home and I had quite a bit of money that I came home with, and then I blew it all because I went out with mates and stuff like that. And I started working at Curry's as like a Christmas temp
Yeah.
when I first came back. And I had this snotty nose kid telling me what to do. And I was like, I get it, I'm working at Curry's, but like I used to be a manager.
Yeah.
And like what you're telling me isn't right. Like what you're telling me to do just isn't right from a customer perspective. And so I told him. So I think it was either I walked out that day or I was going to get sacked, to be fair. But yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And then I used to worked at Thorntons for a bit.
Oh, lovely. Get a lot of chocolate.
I did. That was probably why I was as big as I used to be.
Yeah.
Then worked at KFC, which is probably why I was even bigger than I used to be. And then worked here for my uncle, and then bought the business off in just after COVID.
Nice.
So yeah, so I've had
And you makes me feel like I need to go and try some more jobs out.
No, not necessarily. If you have
Kind of
to,
want to
yeah.
Can I come and do a day?
Well, it's funny though. So when you said earlier that it was either M&S, Pizza Hut, or Boots.
Yeah.
So Pizza Hut and KFC are owned by the same brand.
Oh, okay.
So we used to get like crossover. So I think they own KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell,
Right.
something else. So whenever we used to go to conferences and stuff, big conferences, used to be people from Pizza Hut and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I sometimes miss hospitality. I don't miss the hours. I definitely don't miss the hours.
No.
But I do miss the hospitality. I do miss working in a restaurant with a hustle and bustle. I mean, this is busy and big.
Yeah.
But like, working at KFC was brilliant. I used to love working at KFC.
Yeah. There is enjoyable elements, I think, of like retail and hospitality. Yeah, I miss M&S cafes sometimes. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you've said you've got a year and a half left on your lease, but where do you see yourself and Hidden Kitchen in 5 years' time?
I actually honestly don't know.
Okay.
So I'm here for the next year and a half. That's a definite. I don't know what is happening with my lease because my landlord, I think, is going to be selling the building.
Okay.
So that's going to be a bit of a deciding factor in whether I stay here or not. But I think the past few years I've been so focused on getting the day-to-day within the shop right and training my staff.
Yeah.
That I've not thought too far ahead.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like
Growing the flower.
yeah, for now. But like I say, I do love the social media side of things, and I like writing the recipes and sharing the recipes. So I'm always thinking of ways that I could sort of do different things with the Hidden Kitchen in the future.
Right.
And I've thought about like doing like teaching classes and stuff like that. But I've not set out that plan as of yet.
Because places do that, don't they? So I'd like have you in like on a Thursday evening or something and do like classes and stuff.
But I think I enjoy it more from the side of things of like, so you can go to like classes that are kind of anyone can go to them, and it's like you can go for your friend's birthday or like a hen party or something, and you like decorating a few cakes and stuff. But I really like enjoy the sort of baking sciencey side of things. I love like figuring out recipes and like getting it right and stuff like that. So I'd like to teach more about that, like
Right.
almost like a bit of baking troubleshooter type thing. Like your sponges aren't quite right, or your cookies are spreading too much, that sort of thing. I enjoy that side of it rather than teaching people to decorate things and stuff like that. So maybe that will come at some point. I don't think we've got the space for it there,
Yeah.
because everything's baked in there as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't have a great answer for you on that
No,
one.
that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Okay. Well, so we'll just see where you are then.
Yeah.
5 years time.
Yeah, maybe I'll come back and be like, look, I got 5 more shop wheels.
Maybe,
Can't imagine having 5 more shops.
maybe I'll have like my own studio and everything by that point. Maybe I'm not even an estate agent by that point.
Say it. I like that though. I like that people are willing to, if you ever get unhappy in what you do,
Yeah.
move to something else, try something else. I like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, how do we find you for the next year and a half? For people I don't know.
So we have our social media, which is all The Hidden Kitchen Manchester, which is MCR on the end. And we have a website as well, which you can visit, and that's how you can do your ordering. So
Yeah. What's your website address?
it's www.thehiddenkitchenmcr.co.uk. So that's where we take our orders and stuff as well, so people can collect on a Friday and Saturday. And yeah, you can also just walk in on a Friday and Saturday. So we're obviously in Ashton on Stamford Street, and you can just walk in on a Friday and Saturday and pick some cakes if you.
Which we do regularly.
Yeah,
I do.
that's what we're there for.
But have you got anything that you want to say to end the podcast? Is there anything that we've touched on or that we've not touched on?
No, I think you've covered all bases, really. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. And if you give me all your socials, we'll put them all in the description as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fern, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah.